It's time for another episode of the Cattle Innovation Station podcast. I'm your host, Baxter Whitworth, and as always, joining me today is your other host, Paul Hayes. In this episode, we're going to be looking at interviews that we conducted at the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo, talking about them, and then also talking about how the podcast went this year. This is our season finale or end of the year podcast, whatever you want to call it, but next episode will be the first episode of the next season. Welcome to the Cattle Innovation Station podcast,
bringing you the innovative new ways of the cattle industry.
We're your hosts, Baxter Whitworth and Paul Hayes. Together, we're going to be interviewing leaders within the cattle industry.
Here on this podcast, our focus is honoring God and innovating the cattle industry. Get ready to listen, learn, and laugh as we help innovate the cattle industry.
Let's get innovating.
EP Cattle Company. Owned by Eddie Wilson, EP Cattle Company is home of Sir Rouse Handshake. Rouse Handshake is a sound-structured, heavy muscle bull that is really bold ribbed. So it comes with no surprise that he is a Fort Worth and San Antonio Junior Show Division Champion and Rio Grande Valley Open Show Division Champion. He is a grandson of BRC Noble and JDH Shank Manso, and is also a great-grandson of Mr. H. Elijah Manso. You can contact Eddie Wilson or Nicole Wilson on Facebook at EP Cattle Company. So remember, if you're looking for some well-performing, registered Brahman genetics, contact Eddie Wilson on Facebook.
Okay, so let's hop to it. So at Fort Worth Stock Show, we interviewed different kids that were showing, and some colleges also, because there were colleges at the college day. So we went around and we interviewed the exhibitors and the ambassadors, or I guess you called them ambassadors for the college, and we had good conversations and got some great insight from those people. So we are going to share those, and we're going to talk about them. Also, if you listen to our last episode, you'll know that there were a few of those at the end of that episode as well. So the first one we're going to start off with is this one. Here we go.
All right, I'm here with
Kerrigan Owens.
All right, what breed of cattle do you show?
I show a Simmental.
Simmental. What do you like about Simmental cattle?
I like black cattle a lot. I like their hair and stuff.
Okay, so you like working hair?
Yes.
Okay, where do you think the future of the beef cattle industry is going?
I'm hoping it's going better, and so we can grow this industry more, and more people can get involved in this really good industry.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
I laugh because I just remember the thought process I had during the how do we get that to go down? There we go. I remember the thought process, that you have while you're interviewing, and it's different than when you see it, but I don't know, that's why I laugh. Paul, let's see. This is your first one. Here we go. Or I say your first one. It's the first one we're going to show.
Hi, what's your name?
I'm Noah Chamberlain.
All right, and what breed of cattle did you show?
I showed Hereford and Simbra.
All right, and are you still active with them?
No, sir. I'm in college.
All right, but do you still help raise them at all, or?
Yeah, I work for a Hereford breeder and a Simbra breeder.
All right, and then where do you see our beef industry going right now?
Always advancing. We're always getting better.
Yeah.
We're always getting better. We're always advancing. Our family grows every day. So,
All right, thank y'all.
That's
Yeah, I
good.
remember.
What do
Yeah,
you
I
think?
remember that one. He was really good. It said he had grown up showing, and that he's in college now, but he still works on a ranch. But he
Hereford
was
Ranch, he said.
yeah. It said Hereford. Yep.
Oh, I remember this one. Okay. This one took us forever, and you'll kind of get a hint from that, but we messed up so many times trying to start it.
All right, who am I here with?
Stockton Sastry.
I know I've tried to do this 5 times. All right, Stockton. What breed of cattle do you show?
Herefords,
Herefords. What do you like about Herefords?
the way they look.
You like the way they look? All right, what's your favorite major stock show?
Probably Houston.
Probably Houston. How old are you?
10 years old.
10 years old. All right, how long have you been showing?
Since the 3rd grade.
Since you were in the 3rd grade. Okay, you want to keep showing?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Stockton.
You're welcome.
And then we have the one, because we messed up, but we didn't want to start all over again. He had a YouTube.
All right, before we go, will you tell us about your YouTube channel?
Okay, my YouTube channel is that we do a bunch of baseball stuff and we do a bunch of cattle stuff. And it's named the 39 Bro.
39 Bro? All
I
right,
messed up.
check it out.
Bro. I've checked it out. It's pretty good. Anyways. Okay, and then we interviewed. Let's see, the next one. Here we go.
Today I'm here with
Cecilia Guerra.
So Cecilia. What breed of cattle do you show?
I show polled, gray, and red Brahman cattle.
What do you like about them?
I love their appearance and the fact that they are so beautiful, and that my family has been raising them for over 6 generations.
Nice. And then, what show do you like the best?
I say Fort Worth and San Antonio are 2 of my favorite shows that we attend throughout the year.
Okay. And then, do you follow the Cattle Innovation Station podcast?
I do, and I do try to stay up to date as much as possible, but I know that my grandpa is some of y'all's biggest fans, so.
Well, thank you a lot. And for following us already, we're going to give you one of our stickers.
Oh, yay, thank y'all.
That one was good. And let's see. So, Paul, what is your favorite major stock show?
Favorite major stock shows, so that'd be not including our
Not including breed association.
yeah,
shows.
not
Or
including our
open
summer
show.
shows or our
junior
our
major.
junior major show. For when I show my heifers, it's definitely Houston. And I don't know, with steers, it's probably between Fort Worth and Houston, just because I feel like Houston is just the most competitive, and I really like competitiveness. So I think it's fun.
Nice. Mine is, it's probably between Fort Worth and Houston for both of them. I like both of those a lot. I'm in Houston usually for about a month, or I was this year, so if that tells you anything. Here's the next one.
All right, who am I here with today?
Katie Burnett,
What breed of cattle do you show?
Brahman.
Brahman cattle. All right, what do you like about Brahmans?
I like Brahmins because they're such a dual species. Like now we've gotten into the beef industry of producing beef. They're just such a multi-purpose breed you can use in your herd.
All right, what do you think is something that we can improve on in the beef industry?
I definitely think getting more out there in the beef industry. The Brahmin, I don't know, really what we're known for is sort of dated. Like every cattle in Texas is heat tolerant at this point. Like we can't be known for the heat tolerance and fertility anymore. We got to get out there, got to start producing beef better, and just really promoting our breed more in the beef industry.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
That one was pretty good, and I didn't play 2 Brahmin ones in a row, but that's how that one worked out. And there's a few that we weren't able to play while we're interviewing, so we're just gonna, in a little bit, well, we have a few more, and then we'll kind of talk about the general of the rest of them.
Yeah.
Good.
All right, our next person, who am I talking to now?
Caston Tip.
The legendary Caston Tip. All right, Caston, what breed of cattle do you show?
Brahman.
What do you like about Brahman cattle?
I really don't know. I like it all.
You like all of it? What do you want to be when you grow up?
Brahmin breeder.
Brahmin breeder? Don't call me sir. I'm only 14. All right, Caston. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Caston, he's great. If you don't know Caston, Caston is one you need to know. He's great. He's fun.
He is. You know, he just finished eating his bag of cotton candy when we were interviewing him.
That's right.
Now we're out here at the Fort Worth tie-outs. Who am I speaking with now?
Daisy,
And what breed of cattle do you show?
a Chianina,
And what do you like about them?
the way they're built and the color.
And what is something that you think the youth in agriculture could improve on a little bit?
The way they take care of their animals, because some of them just give up on them.
Yep. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then here's another one from the tie-out.
Hi, and who am I here with?
Landon,
And what breed of cattle do you show?
Beefmaster.
What do you like about Beefmasters?
Not having to wash that much.
Okay. And what's your favorite thing about showing?
Probably. Shoot. Huh? My favorite part about showing is getting to meet new people.
Okay, and what's your favorite show that you go to?
Probably, I'll just say Cattlemen's.
Cattlemen's Congress?
Yeah, Cattlemen's Congress.
Thank you.
All right.
What's his favorite part about showing? It's definitely not washing.
No.
Idiot. Oh, okay.
No, well, like he said, stock shows are really a great place to meet people. That's how me and Baxter met.
That's true. I remember how we met. We were taking the herdsman quiz at the
state show.
And we were close to each other, or sat close to each other.
Yeah.
But
tried to cheat off me.
no, I didn't. You tried to cheat off me. Just kidding. That wouldn't have been a wise move.
No.
Infinity Cattle Services, owned by Chris Shivers, is glad to be a sponsor of the Cattle Innovation Station podcast. Infinity Cattle Services, a unique, vision-driven, service-oriented company committed to developing successful revenue-producing cattle operations, is a full-service consulting and marketing firm specializing in Brahmin and Brahmin-influenced cattle. Contact them today to learn more about how they can assist you with locating cattle, cattle mating, sale management, marketing, communications, record keeping, data submission, and a wide array of other services. They can be reached at 713-202-1747. Again, that's 713-202-1747, or at infinitycattleservices@gmail.com. That is infinitycattleservices@gmail.com. Visit their website at infinitycattle.com or check them out on Facebook and Instagram. All right, so now I think we're going to go on to some colleges. But well, I guess we can go ahead and move into that. First up is TCU.
And who am I here with today?
My name is Ross Tollison.
And I believe you're with TCU?
Yes, the ranch management program. I'm a current student there.
That's nice. And then what really is the ranch management program at TCU known for?
So the whole goal is to produce land stewards and livestock managers that also are capable of running those industries like a business. That's the whole idea, is that we are able to take the livestock industry and run it in a way so that it can be competitive with other enterprises within the business world.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely. Hey, y'all have a great day.
That one was a great one, and we had a great conversation with them afterwards.
You did.
And we should probably know this, but TCU has a a ranch management program that's kind of separate from a degree, and I was really blown away because they talked and they said you can go and get your ag business, animal science degree, or even do something completely out of agriculture and come and get your ranch management degree, or not degree, but certification. And is that what it was called? Was it a certification?
Maybe.
But you can go and get your certification, and it's kind of an add-on to help you know more about ranch management, and it sounded like a pretty good program to me.
Yeah, like I think he said you don't like actually have to be enrolled through the school. You just have to, like, it's not like you're signing up and that's one of your classes.
Well, it
It's a
is a
different
class,
thing.
but it's
yeah.
not. And he also said that some people come straight out of high school to it also. So you can have a doctorate and go to it, or you can come straight with your diploma from high school.
All right, who am I here with now?
I'm Kaylee Hopkins.
All right, so you're at Texas Tech. What do you like about Texas Tech?
I love Texas Tech because you still get to be at a big school and get all of the fun pros of being at a big school, going to the football games, basketball games. But when it comes to your classes, we have a lot smaller class sizes, which allows you to learn a lot more easily and kind of know all the people in your class, which makes it a lot easier to kind of feel like a home away from home.
What's the student-teacher ratio?
Our student-teacher ratio is 16-1, so basically you're going to have 15 to 20 kids in most of your classes, which is pretty similar to what most kids have in their middle school or high school classrooms.
That's pretty good. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
That one was good, and it's a lower student-teacher ratio than I thought. That kind of sparked when she talked about the low class sizes. I do want to say here.
I didn't remember having that.
Going to the
talking to her.
This picture back here, that's a pretty cool picture behind her. I like that picture. I don't know if that was Texas Tech or Fort Worth. That might have just been a Fort Worth deal, but that was pretty cool.
Oh, that's the artwork they do one for every year. You can see like right across from her head the 2020.
Oh,
see that?
okay, I see that. All right, and then our last
cool.
one, last but not least, I have to say that, otherwise I'll have a friend get on to me, is SFA.
Okay, next stop is SFA. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, I'm Haley Leta. I'm an agriculture education major here at SFA.
Okay, so what do you like about SFA and the College of Agriculture?
I really love the campus. It's a really nice campus. It's beautiful. There's flowers everywhere. There's trees everywhere. Everything's real close together. Everyone's super nice on campus, too.
All right, thank you.
I think that's the only college that had anything that talked about the students being nice. So that was good. So that's all the college interviews that we were able to get just without or on our list to play. We have some more that we'll edit in. And so let's just kind of talk about the college interviews and then the actual interviews. Let's do the actual interviews first. So I know we had some that were pretty good, and the reason we don't have some of these up is because they were too long to put up. So we had some pretty good ones that we weren't able to put up. I think we'll go ahead and play the ones from last time that we didn't get to play this time. So we'll do that. And while those are loading, we'll talk about what we thought about it and what we thought about the ones that we haven't played. Paul, what are your thoughts?
About the interviews that we did at Fort Worth, correct, with the kids, the exhibitors. So with them, my thoughts about that was it was really cool to hear different people's perspectives about what different exhibitors, like kids our age, because normally through the podcast we're only talking to people that they're older than us. But it's really, and hearing their perspectives, but it's really cool to hear the perspectives of someone our age and their thoughts about where the cattle industry is going and what we can improve on.
Have you been looking for Brahman cattle with a good genetic background? Contact 79 Cattle Company, selling reliable Brahman replacement heifers, Brahman show prospects, and Brahman bulls. Contact Taylor Tate at 210-241-4511. Again, that's 210-241-4511. Or contact Mallory Tate at 210-861-0155, 210-861-0155. That's true. And something I think about is there's a lot of times I'm having a conversation with someone my age or within that's a junior, and I'm thinking this would be great to have on our podcast. We might not could talk a full hour about it, but I think it's great that we did that, and maybe we can do that some more. I think actually getting a little bit further in depth would be good. We didn't get too in depth with anything, but I think getting in depth with some of that stuff would be great in the future.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Here's your brother.
Hi guys, I'm here with.
My name's Cole Thomas Hayes.
Cole Thomas Hayes. Cole Thomas Hayes, what breed of cattle do you show?
Brahmins.
Cole, who's your brother?
Paul Hayes.
Is he a nice brother?
Sometimes.
Sometimes? Okay. Okay, what's your favorite thing about Brahman cattle?
They're heat tolerant.
They're heat tolerant? Nice. Okay, thank you, Cole.
You're welcome.
My laugh was so animated there. I don't know. It sounded like a cartoon laugh.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. While I'm working on getting some more up, Paul, are you a nice brother?
Yes, I try to be. I gotta keep him out of trouble, which is why he doesn't always like me. Gotta try to keep him
Okay.
out of trouble.
I got you.
That's my older sister's job.
Oh, okay. To keep him out of trouble or to keep you out of trouble?
Both.
Both?
Both, yeah.
Okay.
No, I love my brother. Yeah, but about all the interviews, it was really, I really like, I thought that one girl emphasized on, like, some people could take better care of their cattle. And I know, like, me and you, we both emphasize, like, we're getting up before school and staying out after dark, making sure they get taken care of. My steers, they get way better hair products than I can get.
That is true. Clean Sheen is a friend of the hair cattle.
It is.
But not something I can waste on my own hair. Although sometimes before I go in the show ring, I will use Revive. Because
I've done that.
I want to match.
If you get your gel, there's always something in the show box.
Exactly. Well, and see, Revive just makes it bright. Makes your hair bright.
Sure.
So I think it's kind of cool to walk in there with the bright hair with your steer, and nobody actually notices that that's what you have. But I don't know. The confidence builder, I guess.
I guess. Is that what Sullivan's used to put on their bottle?
Confidence builder.
Confidence builder. The look of a champion.
That's right. Or, who knows, a new upcoming show supply chain.
Maybe.
This one is... Okay, I have another one for us.
Hi guys, I'm here with
Emma.
Emma, what breed of cattle do you show?
Brahmin.
Brahmin, why do you like Brahmins?
Because they're my favorite cattle to show.
But why?
Because I get to go, I don't know.
You don't know? Okay, well,
She was ready for those first two questions. She didn't know about the last one, but he was ready for those first two.
It's true. Sometimes you like something and it's hard to explain why. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like, I don't like.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Like, I don't like hot food, and I can't really explain why. I just don't like it.
Well, I love spicy food. I think it's the adrenaline, really. You get something spicy and just gives you an adrenaline rush.
Yeah, or your mouth hurts.
That true, but that also gives you an adrenaline rush. So here.
Hi, I'm Paul, and today I'm here with
Alexia.
Alexia. What breed of cattle do you show?
Santa Gertrudis.
What's your favorite thing about them?
They're nice and they're a smaller framed cow, unlike Brahmin.
That hits close to home. Okay. I'm gonna test your history on Santa Gertrudis. Where did they originate?
They originated here in Texas at the King Ranch in Kingsville, Texas.
That's very good. I'm glad you know that. And are you following our podcast currently?
Yes, I am.
Could you show me? Yep, she's a follower. And here you go. We're going to give you one of our Cattle Innovation Station stickers.
Ooh. The stickers, if anybody ever wants a sticker and you see us, I can't guarantee we'll have them with us, but if we do, we'll be more than happy to give you one. So
Yeah,
make sure to
absolutely.
find us. Okay, Paul, I don't know
Absolutely.
if I can find any other ones. I might be able to find another one. I may not.
Yep.
A lot of them we're just going to have to upload. Oh, can I play a bloopers, please?
As long as you're the one talking.
No, because it's funny.
Who is it?
It's with Alexia.
Sure, we can cut it out, can't we?
Yes.
Okay, if I don't want to. Okay.
While we're waiting on that, it's been a great first year, I think, and I've been excited. It feels like it's been well over a year, and then at the same time it feels like it hasn't been a year at all. So next month will be our anniversary of our first episode. I remember with Dr. Long, he was a great guest.
He was.
And a trooper too, because we did not have the
interview talent and skills that we've gained throughout these 11 episodes that we've done.
And we're still learning too, so
absolutely.
We learn every time, get more confident, or we try to. Hope it seems that way.
Hi, I'm Paul, and I'm here with
Alexia.
Alexia, what breed of cattle do you show?
Santa Gertrudis.
What do you like about them?
They're not big cattle. They're kind of smaller, and they're nicer.
What all shows do you go to?
I go to San Antonio, Fort Worth, Houston, and our county show, and a couple of jackpots.
Nice, thank you.
Yeah.
What am I asking? Why is it important for your cattle to be moderate?
Because the judge likes them better that way.
That was funny.
My mind just like the coldness got to me there. My mind just like left me for a second.
That's all right. It makes for a good. We got to keep it funny sometimes.
Yeah.
All right. So back to this year. I think it was great. We learned a lot, and let's see. Our first episode was with Dr. Long. The colleges. Let's talk about that. The college interviews I thought were really good. We had some great college interviews. Some talked a lot. Most of them talked about the college, and some of them we got to talk about other things with. We even got to talk with Dr. Mosier. This is still up. We even got to talk with Dr. Mosier from K-State, and we've had him on before. If you haven't, he was our second episode, so make sure that you've seen that one. It was a really good episode, and he has a lot of great knowledge. We got to catch up with him. That was a great short interview we got. And then, let's see, we went around. I'm trying to remember some of the colleges we went to. We went around. Well, we'll see them in the final video.
Yeah, I think we went around. I guess A&M was there, right?
Yes.
Who else?
We
did Texas Tech.
Texas Tech, but
we showed that video.
That's right. So, I guess we can move on.
Mm-hmm.
If you truly want your livestock to perform at their best, make sure to contact Vance Aaron, the owner and operator of AFL Livestock Solutions. Vance specializes in magnawave treatments that use pulsed electromagnetic fields, or PEMF, to relieve pain, swelling, and inflammation, caused to help your livestock feel their best. In addition to livestock, Vance can also help you feel better. His treatment works great on sore muscles and joints, along with other mobility issues. His treatments are FDA approved to treat migraines. Aaron Family Livestock Solutions has helped many exhibitors make it to the backdrop with their proven MagnaWave treatments. Don't miss your next backdrop picture. Give Vance a call at 903-720-3184. Again, that's 903-720-3184. Or find them on Facebook at AFL Livestock Solutions.
Okay, so we talked about the videos and the colleges. We'll just kind of go through the list. After Dr. Mosier was Miss Hillary Velker, and she was a good episode. We learned a lot about reproduction, and then she was also the next episode, and then Mr. Brandon Cottrell was also in the next episode. And those were both great episodes. I think it was a great, though we had a good talk with Dr. Long and Dr. Mosier just about some more general topics. Now in Dr. Mosier's we did go a little bit deeper in genetics, but we still had kind of different topics that we went into. With those two, I think it was great to start off with reproduction because that's very crucial in our industry. What do you think, Paul?
Absolutely. One of the really things that I took away from the Miss Hillary Velker episode, and that I don't know, really took me by surprise because I hadn't thought about it before, was when we asked her what her breed selection, not breed selection, what her traits were for selecting cattle. And it was really interesting to see the perspective of someone who's spent their whole life in reproduction and how they view what you should select cattle on. And I hadn't just thought about that before, but I thought that was really cool.
That was really neat. Something else, and it was also cool to see Mr. Cottrell's selection as someone who looks very heavily into reproduction efficiency and also does raise cattle. Has a big operation himself. Being able to have the view of really looking into production or reproduction, but also looking into other aspects and how we need to balance that as well, I thought was really important. Next, we had Dr. Herring, and that was a great discussion over genetics.
It was. We did that one when we were at the beef cattle short course.
That we did. And that's a great program for anybody looking to go. That is in August, I believe. June or it may be in July this year, the end of July. It was in August last year. But that's a great program, and it's kind of sad because, well, I mean, it's not sad, but it kind of can make not make you sad, but it can be frustrating because you're looking and you're like, well, I want to go to this course, but it's also on this day, and you want to go to both of them, but it's not like it's not just that there's all the great ones on one day. There's great ones on this day, on this day, on this day, and well, there's 3 or 4 days. I can't remember. So there's great ones every day. So
Absolutely.
it's just great that you get the opportunity, and it's hard to look at your schedule and that they give you and decide what do you want to do. I know
Me and you spent a good, like, I don't know, probably 2 hours trying to figure out. I mean,
and then we still didn't stick to
really,
that plan.
no,
We
I know.
went around. We would go to some sessions and go to others, but
We would. I remember one, I went to like half of it, and then I went to the other half of another one because I really wanted to hear both.
that's right. And you can also look and see who's speaking at what parts of that session and
Yeah.
try and hit what you can. After that, we had Mr. Polk, and his first episode was a lot about advocacy, and then the second episode was great, and we were also able to have, in case you don't know, Mr. Polk is the president of the TSCRA, and then we were able to have Congressman Nathaniel Moran, and I actually saw him yesterday, but that was a good episode. Learned a lot about kind of what's going on in the political realm of the agriculture industry right now, and that was great informing our listeners, I think. After that was January, and that was Mr. Cameron Barton at BRK Meats.
Yeah.
That was kind of a different perspective than we had on our podcast, just talking about the meat industry side.
It was, definitely, because most of the time we were talking about, like, the live animal.
Right. And we try and talk about feedlots and stuff, the feeding aspect of your backgrounders and your feeders. But we do kind of focus a little bit more on the cow-calf side, and so we're trying to kind of balance that out, and I think that was a great way to do that. And then we had marketing with Mr. Chris Shivers. It's a people's business. That was a good quote. It is a people's business.
Absolutely.
Then we had Too Much of a Good Thing is Never a Great Thing with Dr. Carroll. And then the next episode, we called it Too Good to Name because there were so many good quotes that he gave. We didn't know what to name it. So that was great about nutrition. And since the beginning, we almost didn't do the reproduction at first and did nutrition. But we finally got nutrition, and we were really excited about that.
Absolutely. That was a great episode. He was really good at being able to explain things, being able to take like a really hard to grasp concept and putting it into something that we can understand better, like using Snicker bars as an example.
Yes.
Something very near and dear to both mine and his heart.
Y'all bonded over Snickers. All right. So we may try and give out some awards here. Not give out, but just kind of say some awards here in a second. Like who had the most plays or what episode had the most plays and stuff. But I don't know. Paul, why don't you take us for a little bit? What are your thoughts on this year and maybe even what's upcoming for next year?
First up, I'd like to go back. I want to talk about some of those episodes that you mentioned.
Okay.
With the Dr. Mr. Polk, his was a great episode, and he had mentioned the TSCRA event that happened, I think, 2 weekends ago, and it'll happen again next year. And he invited everyone out. It's great. I've gone for the past 2 years now, and it's always great. There's a bunch of different new technologies there every year, and I don't know, it's just really fun to go see all the new stuff there each year.
That's already happened, right?
It did. It was 2 weekends ago.
Yes.
The weekend before Easter.
That's right. You can.
Have you been looking for a place to buy top quality AI sire semen or collectible of your own? Well, look no further than Elgin Breeding Services. Located in Elgin, Texas, Elgin Breeding Service is not only one of the best breeding services in the business, but also has superior customer service. Contact them at ebsbull@elginbreedingservices.com or by phone at 512-285-2019. Again, that's 512-285-2019. And visit their website at elginbreedingservice.com.
We may talk about, I don't know. We think all of ours episodes were great, so I'm not going to say which ones had the most views, because that can also have a big difference on what time of the podcast we had them on. For instance, our first episode with Dr. Long had a lot of views because that was our first episode and we marketed it really heavily. So that came out, and then we didn't have as much because we weren't able to market it as well. And then as we kept going, we started to be able to market it better, and just we gained more listeners. So I think I've definitely enjoyed the being able to talk to people and have a conversation with somebody and think that'd be a great podcast episode, and kind of put them on our radar to be on the podcast. But Paul, before the ad break, you were talking about some previous episodes. Was there something else you wanted to say?
No, not really. TSCRA event, it was great. Next year, if y'all can make it out, it's just a great place. There's a ton of, every year there's new technology or old technology that people are doing new things with or adding on to. So it's a great place to learn about all the new things you can use to help with your herd. And I don't know, it's just really fun. Great place to meet a bunch of people, learn about a bunch of things.
Paul, I have a great question for you. So what are your top 3 favorite quotes from this year on our podcast?
Ooh.
That's a hard question.
That's a really hard question. I don't know. Mr. Barton's too much of a good thing is never a great thing is
that was
probably
Dr.
in my top 3.
That was Dr. Carroll.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was Dr. Carroll.
For me, I'd have to say it's really hard because we never had a guest this year that didn't say some wise things and also didn't, have a lot of knowledge. But I would say too much of a good thing is never a great thing would definitely be one of my favorites. It's a people's business. I like that quote a lot. And then just going back to the very beginning of knowledge is power, that one's pretty good too.
Yeah, knowledge is power. We actually, that reoccurred with Dr. Herring, kind of. He had said that in his episode.
Well, Dr. Long kind of had that theme. Dr. Mosher had that theme. Even Miss Hillary had that theme. Or she mentioned that. And then Dr. Herring, I can't remember. I think Mr. Polk might have said something. I think he might have said something about that, about continuing to. He did. He actually talked about that heavily, about how TSCRA wants producers to continue to learn. And then we had Congressman Moran that said I think he talked about that a little bit. Who was next? I would venture to say almost every guest we have had has said something, even if it's just small, close to that, just kind of keeping it a theme. And I think it's a great theme to have. I definitely say I've learned a lot from doing the podcast.
Me too. I mean, definitely anything that you can read or listen to and just get more knowledge for yourself is definitely gonna end up helping you.
Right. Paul, what topics do you want to see us look into in the coming year, next season?
I'd like to. Me and Baxter do have someone in mind for a episode about advocacy in the cattle industry and influencing people, and like social media has really basically bashed agriculture, especially the beef industry, and in some ways. And I'm not saying social media is bad, because there's one in particular person that me and Baxter are thinking about interviewing that has a positive influence on social media about the cattle industry. And so we haven't done an episode on advocacy yet, which is something that we've looked into and really wanted to do.
Right. We kind of discussed that with Mr. Polk a little bit, but I would like to dive into that deeper. I would like to. We've talked about nutrition, genetics, reproduction. I would kind of like to go back to genetics some. I think that'd be good because we did that. We did that at the beginning, and then we haven't done that for a little bit. And there's never. I think this year opens up new opportunities for us because our first year we pledged not to get breed specific, and there was one guest, Mr. Cottrell. He's a Brahmin rancher, but we still try not to get breed specific. And this year we're still not gonna get breed specific per se, but we're gonna invite guests that own ranches and different breeds to come on, and we're going to try and balance it out and not have one particular breed. But I think different breeds is great to have on, and there's great things within each breed that we can learn from other breeds depending on what breed you're in. So I think just having that'll be a great opportunity. We might
Absolutely.
I think we'll have the opportunity to get a lot more ranch owners and ranch managers on, and then I think we may have the opportunity to get an executive vice president of a breed association. So,
yeah.
Hi guys, I'm your co-host Paul Hayes, and I'd like to tell you all about my family business that has been going on for over 50 years now, and that is raising quality registered Brahmin cattle. Our ranch is called Flat Rock Brahmins, and we have locations in Glen Rose and LaGrange, Texas. And we are here for all of your cattle needs. Whether it's needing show cattle, replacement females, or even a new herd sire, we would be happy to earn your business and watch our genetics excel in your herd. You can contact me by email at paulhayesv@icloud.com, or my dad, who helps manage the ranch, at paulhayesiv@icloud.com, or over the phone at 817-964-2752.
I think those would all be very informative. Because I remember our first poll that we did on an episode, or I think it was our first poll. It was one of our first polls. It was one of our first polls. Here we go. I think it was with Dr. Long. But we asked what producers or what listeners would like to listen to, what area the breed. And 22% said, and this was, you could pick more than one, but 22% of people said researchers or professionals, 51.2% said ranch owners, and 19.5% said retailers, and 7.3% said others. Nobody ever said what they had meant by others, but
Yeah, if you ever click other on any of our polls, please leave in the comments or email us about that.
yes, that's a good point, Paul. Don't be afraid to email us in. We are open to constructive feedback. We would love to make this podcast better.
Absolutely.
I can definitely, I think I speak for both of us when I say that. And if you ever see one of us too, and if you are interested in placing an ad, also make sure to let us know.
Yeah,
With that,
we can't really get better. I mean, me and Baxter can have our perspectives about the podcast and stuff and perfect it until we think it's good. But if we don't have someone else's perspective in it, we don't really know if that's the way to go or not. So if y'all have any feedback for us, that'd be great.
that's right. And we're learning from this. We're trying to learn from this too. So we ask questions. If you ever have a topic you want us to discuss, you can do that. And coming in the new year, I think we may have some new things. So let's transition into that. Paul, what do you see coming in the new year, new season?
I think me and you have talked about maybe changing the format of our podcast a little bit, and that we've thought about that and thought about how an hour long is a little bit long for someone to listen to all at once. We've thought about breaking our episodes up into 30-minute segments.
Wow.
And if y'all
And we would still interview people for an hour. I think that's important. Honestly, at first I thought, with in our first episode, it was hard for us to make an hour, but now it flies by because we're used to it. We understand it better.
It does. And definitely when you get into a deep conversation, like for say Miss Hillary Vilker, she was like so fun to talk to, and there was just so much stuff that I was like, wait, I have a question about this, and she'd be able to answer it. And we'd ask a question, and then we'd be able to be like, inside of her answer, we'd have questions about that.
And that's what we try to do is I feel like that's where our best questions come from, and that's what we're trying to do, and I feel like that's what we're getting better at. And so we may have 4 episodes on one person, and I just think that'll open up more opportunities for us. It'll make it easier on you as a listener, I hope, and you won't be losing any of the valued information that you would be getting from a guest, because some of the conversations, I really learn a lot, and so I don't want to turn that out, but also understand that we're driven by our listeners. We want our listeners to learn. We want our listeners to listen. So we don't want to make that too long. So I think we may start splitting it up.
Absolutely. And we're not thinking about doing 30 minutes per month. We're thinking, oh, we could do that, but
maybe doing 2 episodes a month and just splitting it up. Basically just like we're doing, just split it up. And also something new I think we can try next year is listener questions. Now, I don't really know how this one will work, so I don't know if we'll do it, but we can do it for our guests, and then some questions, depending on what they are, we might can answer ourselves, as long as it's something that we're comfortable with. Mainly retaining to the podcast, I would say.
Absolutely.
We're getting closer to time. I wouldn't say we're quite there yet. Paul, what do you what do you want to say about our podcast? Or we can go back to Fort Worth interviews if you want. Or Paul, you have the floor. What do you want to say?
I finished talking about all of our episodes in 2024. So coming up January till now, we had our Cameron Barton episode with he was at a harvest plant, and that was a really great episode. It really gave us some insight of what happens to the animal after they like once they get inside a harvest plant, what happens in that process. But that was really it was really neat because you don't really think about that as part of the cattle industry. I mean, you do, but you don't really think about that, if you get what I'm saying.
Especially as cow-calf producers. A lot of times our thought process doesn't go that far. I mean, we understand that it's there. You know, we all know we have the seed stock producers, then the commercial cattlemen that are cow-calf producers, then we have the stocker operations and feedlot operations, and we think about that, but we don't think through that sometimes.
Yeah.
And so I think it's important that we understand where the cattle go, but I also think it's good to understand. We didn't do this on purpose, but I like how we did it in our first season. We started with reproduction, which is the fundamental baseline of your herd. If you don't have good reproductive cattle, then you're not going to be able to make money, period, because you don't have any cattle to sell or raise or do anything with. And then I'm not going to say ended it, but we got further and we did processing and harvesting, and then we did marketing and nutrition. And so I just think the way we kind of set that up was not on purpose, but I think it ended out great. And like the Bible says, all things work for the good of those who love him. So that's something also we've tried to stay rooted in Christ this season. Or, well, in our podcast, that's not going to change. Okay.
No.
Paul, we're coming.
So
go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, after January episode, our February episode was with Dr. Carroll, correct?
Yeah.
Not missing anybody.
No. Mr. Chris Shivers.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I can't forget that. That was a really great episode. I'd mixed up the time on those two. For some reason I thought we had done Mr. Carroll before him. But no, his was a great episode, and it was very interesting. Kind of the January and February episodes were, I don't want to say not. It's just not what you. They're both not what you originally think of when you think
the cattle.
Like when you think of the cattle industry, you're thinking of your cow-calf producers normally.
Well,
or your feedlots.
And it also depends on where you live in the country. See, we think that because we're in Texas, and you're in northern-ish Texas. You're south of
Central.
Yeah, you're central Texas, and so there are some feedlots that are a little bit further north. So that's what we think. But also, you have to think about the producers that are people that live in Kansas, Nebraska, and Oklahoma, and even the Dakotas. Dr. Carroll does a lot of work in the Dakotas, but that it's just the different perspectives, because for them, that's probably not going to be what they're actually not going to think about that when they think of the beef industry. And then you can go on to
definitely
Dr. Carroll if you want.
Yeah, but his it was great. It was really interesting to see because he's he's all about the marketing in it, which is, I just thought that was really cool. And then on the Dr. Carroll episode, I think I already talked about this, but he was really great about, and if you haven't gone back and listened to these episodes that we're talking about, I would highly encourage y'all to
do so.
Just go back and listen, watch those episodes.
I forgot to mention earlier when I talked about emails. Also, if you have any ideas for guests, we'd love to hear them.
Absolutely. And you can also sign up for our email list, which will give you an email on anything that we do or want to announce to y'all. And we send an email out every time we publish an episode, which is normally just the first of the month.
Top Notch Cattle Company, selling semen on high-quality registered red and gray Brahman cattle that are reproductively efficient, structurally sound, big-ribbed, heavy-muscled, and deep-bodied. Contact me at 903-649-9155. Again, that's 903-649-9155. Or email me at bbwtopnotchcattle@gmail.com.
So we talked about some changes that will be made, that's what I'm even talking about, that we might make, and that's a might. We may not make those changes. So we like to be open and upfront with y'all, just like y'all to know what's going on. So you can let us know what you think also, and we look forward to improving our podcast, wrapping up the season and starting next time. The email list, if you want to join the email list, there should be a link in this episode and most of our previous episodes, and also you can find that on Facebook as well. It's just a form. We kind of take a survey. It helps us get better, so that's what we try to do.
And I'd like to talk about some of the changes that we already have made in our podcast from the beginning. For example, we now have a Facebook page, a YouTube page, which we do some extra stuff on YouTube as well, besides just publishing our podcast. And then one big change that we've made is, if you don't already know, we now have audio and
Video.
and visual and video, and you can watch the video episode on YouTube. And where else can you, Baxter?
YouTube and Spotify. Spotify, you can watch it on Spotify as well. And I don't know. We've been blessed to be able to do this. It's been a great opportunity. We've learned a lot. Looking forward, stick around. We plan to come back, and we're excited about it. We're excited about improving ourselves, helping you learn, improve your herd, and improve the beef industry as a whole. Because now we've talked about innovating your herd, but we want to help in all aspects of the beef industry to push us forward, keep us going. So with that being said, we'll keep on working on innovating the cattle industry. Hope you all do too. This is the end of our first season. Keep innovating the cattle industry. Signing off.
Hello, guys. Thank you for listening to the Cattle Innovation Station podcast. We want to make this podcast better. So if you would, please like this episode and leave us feedback in the comment section. Something else that helps make this podcast better is when you respond to the polls. So if you're able, please respond to our polls. Help us make this podcast as good as possible. Thank you, God bless, and have a good day. Thank you for listening to the Cattle Innovation Station podcast.
We hope you enjoyed the show.
I'm your host, Baxter Whitworth.
I'm your co-host, Paul Hayes. Remember our key verse, Proverbs 16:3.
Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans.
Thank you for listening.